What's going on, YouTube? Sid here. I'm going to be doing a series of videos showing off my comic book collection. Recently I've met a few guys here, a few awesome guys here on YouTube in the comic book community. Kind of getting the comic book bug and wanting to get back into it a little bit. So I figured I'd show off my collection. Some of you guys that have followed me from the autograph and sports card community have seen some of these books before, but some of them you have not seen. But just wanted to show some stuff for those of you that from the comic book community that are watching my videos for the first time that don't know. I used to own a comic book store in Florida where I used to live. I live in Oklahoma now, but I owned a store there called Collector's Dream for 3 years, and then I sold to a chain based out of Orlando called Bad Apple Comics, and they kept me on as general manager of their store, and I did that for 2 years, and then they let me go. But basically I've been a collector since I was about 13. Had a good collection, sold it at one point for $100 because I needed some fast cash, you know how young people are. But then I collected and got a bunch more stuff and decided to open up a store. And then, like I said, I did that for 3 years and then sold to Bad Apple because of the economy. I was going to have to shut the doors, but I was able to contact them, and they wanted to expand, and they bought the store and kept me on, and the rest is history. But basically, this is most of my stuff. I still have some other stuff scattered here and there, but this is most of it. A good chunk of it is for sale or trade, preferably for trade. There are certain books, of course, I'm attached to, but I'm telling you, a lot of this would be for trade. A lot of it's not books that I, per se, would like to read or am really into. So if you see anything you like, please hit me up, shoot me a PM, and we'll go through this. First couple of things are some pop-up books. They're not in the best of shape, but here's a Star Wars pop-up book. Definitely some of it's messed up, but I found these at a thrift store for... See that's missing a whole chunk. I found this at a thrift store for, I think it was like $0.25 or something like that. So I picked it up. Always been a big fan of pop-up books. There's a X-Wing fighter there. I got that, and the Lone Ranger. It's a really cool pop-up book. Like I said, these are definitely not in real great shape, but for the most part they are. You get the idea. So then I have the Star Trek Enterprise logs from Golden Press, trade paperback. This is from '76. Again, picked it up at a thrift store, which is where I get most of my stuff, is thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets. I mean, you see the crease there, not in the best shape. I usually buy cheap. I'm a cheap guy, so the more beat up the better, as long as it has a cover though. It's got to have a cover. I hate coverless comics, but definitely I'm into the older stuff. Never really got into the newer stuff really, but pretty much like the mid-'80s and on back earlier is what I collect, and even beyond that, stuff from before 1980 is what I really like. So I mean, if you, like I said, if you see anything you like and it's beat up and it's old, you know, I would be definitely interested in trading for it. So we got that, the Star Trek trade. Then we got the Batman: A Death in the Family trade. So pretty cool there. And we got Wolverine trade, Chris Claremont and Frank Miller. Very cool. And we have the official comic adaptation of the Warner Brothers motion picture of Batman. Very nice. We have Batman: Dark Victory by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This is a very, very popular trade when it came out. And the best Batman movie, Batman and Robin, with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. This is the official comic book adaptation. Again, in pretty rough shape. Their store purchase. We got Daniel Brereton, The Nocturnals. Love this series. Love Brereton's art. Got a few more Daniel Brereton's comic books in this stack. We got The Life of Jesus. Hardcover, I guess you'd say graphic novel. In picture strip form. This is 1964. This is kind of cool. It's in color. Very cool. And then we have some of these little mini comics from March of Comics. So take these out of here. These aren't in the greatest of shape either. I think one or two of them are missing a page or two. I think the Smokey the Bear one is all intact. But we have Smokey the Bear. These are all giveaways. From Robin Hood, Miss Robin shoes for boys and girls. So Smokey the Bear, Little Lulu, Tom and Jerry. It's got some writing up there on the cover. And the Jetsons. Again, these are all found at a thrift store. I think $1/4 a piece. I think they might all be intact except the Little Lulu. I'm not positive, but if anybody's interested in these, I'll definitely for sure check them out and make sure that any of the ones you're interested in are complete. But I'm pretty sure the Little Lulu is missing a page. So we'll stick these back in here. Then we got an Indiana Jones comic. I got a bunch of these in here. You'll probably see them in my other videos. Number 25 from Marvel. And we got the Sesame Street Annual from the Children's Television Workshop. I think this is definitely missing a page. But it still has the poster, which is unusual. It's got games and coloring stuff, and some of the activities have been done, but it's still really cool. I haven't seen too many of these. It's from '72. We have a Dell comic. This is Margie, the television show. This is 1962. In fair shape, I guess. Then we have Battlefront from Atlas, number 43. And this is from 1956. Sorry for my camera, guys. Those of you who haven't watched my videos before, all I have is my cell phone, so it sucks. We have the Lieutenant from '64. This is DC Comics Black Hawk, number 185 from '63. Our Army at War from DC Comics, number 82. And this is from, looks like 59. Yep, 1959. Gladstone Comics, Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge. This one's in really rough shape. I think this is a newer book anyways. Yeah, 1986, number 212. Gold Key, The Fall of the Roman Empire. Got some curling of the spine for sure on that. This is 64. Man from U.N.C.L.E. Number 2. 1965. Got some writing up there. We got the Hawaiian Eye, Case of the Brunette Blonde. This is from a movie or TV show. This is number 1, 1963. Dr. Kildare. Got a real bad damage up there on the spine. Richard Chamberlain, number 4, 1963. Another Man from U.N.C.L.E., Gold Key. This is number 5, 1966. And from DC Comics, Bob Hope, covers detached. This is 92, 1965. And we got from Spire Christian Comics, Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys. This is 1973, the year I was born. Walt Disney's The Misadventures of Merlin Jones. Adaptation of the movie, I'm assuming, in 1964. Ben Casey, Dell Comics. This is number 8. And 1963. Buckskin. Dell Western Adventures. This is number 1107. June, August 1960. I'm assuming this is under their Dell Western Adventure series, possibly. I don't really know much about it. Got a hole right there. Definitely a cool book. Got Peter Porkchops. Looks like DC Comics, 1960. This is number 62. Also from DC, TV Screen Cartoons, number 137, 1960. Carl Anderson's Henry, Dell Comics. Volume 1, number 65, 1961. Now back to the Brereton books. Giant Killer, Book 2. Giant Killer Book 6. Same title, Book 5. And then from Rock and Roll Comics, Vanilla Ice. Guys, know you want it. Cool black and white biography comic book. Got a bunch of these. Then we got a couple signed books. DC Batman Anniversary, issue 400. Signed and inscribed by the artist, one of the artists, Joe Kubert, one of the best in the business. And then an old Our Army at War, issue 57, signed and inscribed by him. I don't know the year on this book. Some more rock and roll comics. Got a double-sided one here. This is Metallica, issue 2. And Bon Jovi, issue 3. G.I. Joe still in the factory wrapper, number 135. Another issue of Giant Killer. This is actually A to Z, a field guide to big monsters. It's a one-shot. Drawing on Your Nightmares. Definitely a quarter box book. There's a nice black mark through the UPC code. Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. On the back is a quarter issue of The Goon. Got some damage down there. Rock and Roll Comics again. This is Genesis, number 60. Need to put these in order. Aerosmith, Book 2, number 57. Jane's Addiction, Hard Rock Comics, number 3. Sports Personalities, this is the Magic Johnson issue. Joe Montana on the cover, or the back cover. Black and white biography comic. Van Halen, Rock and Roll Comics, number 16. There's another Giant Killer, this is the first issue. Van Halen, Book 2, Hard Rock Comics, number 14. Brereton's Nocturnals, issue 5. And then these next two books are really cool. I wish they were in a little bit better shape, but they're really not bad. And they're actually a little smaller than normal comics, as you can see. These were the ones given out to our troops. This is New Avengers, issue 7. And I also have issue 10. You could only get these if you were serving overseas. But I ended up finding both of these at a thrift store. I was really psyched to find those. Alright, Rock Fantasy Comics. This is Van Halen. Hard Rock number 6, Def Leppard. Rock Fantasy Comics, Def Leppard. And Rock and Roll Comics, Def Leppard, number 5. Rock and Roll Comics, Metallica, number 2. Hard Rock Comics, number 2, Motley Crue. Rock and Roll Comics, AC/DC, issue 22. Rock and Roll Comics, Queensryche, number 20. Hard Rock Comics, 18, Queensryche, book 2. Motley Crue, Rock and Roll Comics, issue 4. And this must be an alternate cover, because it's the same issue number. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, issue 503. Kind of a random book. We got a couple issues of The Goon, 21 and 22. Very cool one-shot. Metalocalypse, Deathlock versus The Goon. Sweet book. Super Zombies from Dynamite Comics, issue 3. Free Comic Book Day, Aliens, Predator. G.I. Joe, Free Comic Book Day, and Transformers Animated. Two Live Crew Comics, issue 1. Free Comic Book Day, Iron Man Nova. Free Comic Book Day, Green Hornet by Kevin Smith. Free Comic Book Day, Dr. Solar and Magnus. Metal Thunder, number 1, Motley Crue. Got just a couple more books left. Another autograph book. This is Stormwatch, signed by the artist Jim Lee. There's the certificate of authenticity. Rock and Roll Comics, number 1, Guns N' Roses. And a trade paperback of Muppet Madness, featuring Jim Henson's Muppets from Random House. Again, this has got some comic strips in it, and also some games and activities for the kids. It's a really cool pickup. This book is from, spine's cracking pretty hardcore on it. First American edition, 1980. Very cool pickup. Alright guys, probably do 2 more videos and I think I'll be done. So this is the end of part 1. Thanks for watching. See you.